Well, Kyle, the roads are pretty much clear of snow, but if you take a look over my right shoulder, you can see that there are still a few wet spots on the roads, and VDOT is warning that those wet spots could refreeze overnight and turn into black ice. Well, Bob and Nina, residents tell me this Northfield Court neighborhood is normally a quiet one, but they say recently thieves have been creeping in the night, trying to get into cars and steal property. And this forum comes just 2 weeks after Chief English released body cam footage of a controversial officer-involved tasing. Prosecutors asked the jurors to bring justice to the Imani family. Today, jurors found Omeldo Alberto Pena Pinedo guilty on all charges he was facing. A lot of these incidents happen because car doors are left unlocked. So to prevent yourself from being a victim, every time you get out of your car, remember to lock it. Police say that driver hit a 21-year-old college student who was riding a bird scooter like this one. And I'm just getting word from the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office. Jurors have just recommended Pinedo spend life in prison, and we will keep you updated on when that sentencing will be. Be a few slick spots on your morning commute, especially on those secondary roads. So VDOT says to leave just a few minutes early so your focus can really be on the roadways. Live in Harrisonburg, Autumn Childress, WHSV. Well, Kyle, the roads are pretty much clear of snow, but if you take a look over my right shoulder, you can see that there are still a few wet spots on the roads, and VDOT is warning that those wet spots could refreeze overnight and turn into black ice. The weekend snowstorm is behind us, but VDOT is still urging motorists to practice safe driving skills.
Drive gently. Make subtle movements with the brake pedal and with the steering wheel, and make sure you keep a buffer zone between your vehicle and everything else around you.
Snow vehicles will be out and about salting roads, but officials want you to be aware of potential refreezing.
When you get into the nighttime and the early morning hours, that pavement might look wet, but it's impossible to tell as a driver whether that's truly just water on the road surface or whether it's black ice.
Check out this picture from the weekend. Harrisonburg police say 2 cruisers were swiped by a passing vehicle as officers responded to a car that had flipped into a body of water. And in Page County, another crash involving a patrol car. The sheriff's office says a distracted driver struck the rear of the car as a deputy responded to a vehicle crash. Page County Sheriff's Office writing in a post, "Our message is simple. Please pay attention when driving and don't allow unnecessary distractions to divert your attention." Thankfully, no one was injured in either crash, but officials tonight are urging drivers to remain aware. And again, there could be a few slick spots on your morning commute, especially on those secondary roads. So VDOT says to leave just a few minutes early so your focus can really be on the roadways. Live in Harrisonburg, Autumn Childress, WHSV. Well, Bob and Nina, residents tell me this Northfield Court neighborhood is normally a quiet one, but they say recently thieves have been creeping in the night, trying to get into cars and steal property.
It's really frustrating because it keeps happening.
Haley Hoover shot this surveillance video from her house in Northfield Court. At around 2:45 a.m., you can see the suspect here trying to get into the Hoover's car. When he's unsuccessful, he goes to a neighbor's car, climbs right in, and starts rummaging through the car. A few seconds later, another person climbs in on the other side.
Both of them are wearing hoodies and backpacks. So we kind of assumed that they were just walking the neighborhood looking for unlocked doors and found at least one.
Now, Hoover says this is not the first time the thieves have targeted the neighborhood. In fact, she says it's happened several times in the past year.
We got the cameras and that helped a lot, but it's frustrating. And at first it made me feel really unsafe.
According to police, incidents like this are not uncommon. This year, Harrisonburg police reported 118 thefts from motor vehicles, 4 of those coming from this neighborhood.
There are better ways to make money than to steal from people who work 40 hours a week.
And Bob and Nina, a lot of these incidents happen because car doors are left unlocked. So to prevent yourself from being a victim, every time you get out of your car, remember to lock it. Live in Harrisonburg, Autumn Childress, WHSV. Bob and Nina, prosecutors asked the jurors to bring justice to the Imani family. Today, jurors found Omeldo Alberto Pena Pinedo guilty on all charges he was facing. Pinedo is convicted of robbery, the use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, first-degree murder, and conspiracy to commit robbery. And today was a very emotional day in court. We heard from several members of the victim's family. They all described Kamau as, quote, their sunshine. I talked with the Imani family tonight about the verdict.
Given the evidence and the circumstances of the case, I am beyond satisfied. I'm thankful to the community, the jurors, to Marsha for representing Kamau and actually fighting for justice.
And in cases of first-degree murder, the sentence is anywhere from 20 years to life in prison. And I'm just getting word from the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office. Jurors have just recommended Pinedo spend life in prison. And we will keep you updated on when that sentencing will be. Live in Harrisonburg, Autumn Childress, WHSV.
All right, thank you, Autumn, so much for following this trial all week.
Go, get it, go, get it, go.
Everything takes a toll. It kind of hits the whole energy system.
It was a test of grit, determination, and teamwork.
As we each push through, we want to get everybody through together.
Law enforcement teams jumped, climbed, and even swam through obstacles today to measure how prepared they would be in emergency situations.
This is as close to reality as you can get in a training environment of a self-induced stress environment to basically test those skills.
The day was packed with obstacle courses like this one, mystery trainings, and rifle and pistol events, each designed to sharpen the skills that law enforcement teams need to protect.
Our physical fitness standards have to go up. Our ability to work and run the rifle or our firearms.
Smoot says that these skills have to always be sharp. Why?
So we can help protect everybody out there.
In Harrisonburg, Autumn Childress, WHSV. Meet Joe Shoker. He's been riding motorcycles since 1971.
It's exhilaration, it's fun, it's a lot of freedom with that.
But one thing he doesn't enjoy, coming across scenes like this one, where grass clippings are scattered all over the road. He says it poses a hazard to motorcyclists. He even compared it to driving on ice.
I've had many experiences where I've had to brake or I've been going around a turn and I could feel myself losing traction.
So he showed me a few of the problem areas, even passing by someone putting their clippings straight onto the road.
You can't stop in time with this kind of pavement if it was full of grass.
Now, while leaving these grass clippings in the road is dangerous for motorcyclists, police want you to be aware that it could lead to a Class 1 misdemeanor.
It is a violation of the law.
It's in the Code of Virginia. No person shall throw or deposit any substance to create a hazard to the traveling public. And law enforcement across the valley have even taken to social media to remind the public that there are indeed consequences. But outside of the legal aspects, motorcyclists just want you to be mindful the next time you go out to cut your grass.
Think before you mow, and let's keep everybody safe on the highways.
In Harrisonburg, Autumn Childress, WHSV.